Now, I recently talked about our transition to car nomading, and with that, we did a couple of upgrades. One of which I already showed you, that was the Lamoto car display for Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay, and a dash cam and rear view camera. But in this video, I want to show you how we actually power our phones, and if we need to, even our laptops, all from the power of this car without actually having a power plug like the normal in-house power plugs. So let's jump in. The most important part of our power distribution system is this power adapter right here. It's 165 watts total output. And you can see right here, you have two USB-C ports, one which actually can power up to 140 watts, and then you have another USB-C port with 35 watts and another USB-A port with 30 watts total output. Now, this does not necessarily mean that you get all of those powers right described on the labels. It is, after all, a 165 watt power adapter and not a 140 plus 35 plus 30. But it means that even a MacBook Pro can be charged with this at 100 watts. And that is really amazing. And now the other part of this is, of course, the powering of other things in this lineup right here. One of which is our car holder. And for that, we chose to go with this one right here. I found this on Amazon, and I find this really cool because, for one, it is USB-C powered right there, and you don't need a lightning cable. And as long as you have an iPhone that is MagSafe compatible and also a case, you can just plop on your phone and it's magnetically attached right there. You don't have to worry about it. It's strong enough to hold your phone, which is really incredible. And in our case, we actually mounted it directly here into the vent, which then also we kind of turned down because I heard and saw that sometimes these things can lead to overheating of the phone or underheating of the phone. But generally speaking, we fixed it here to the vent because it's easier for us, and of course, because we have the big screen right there, so I didn't want to have another thing hold up there. But now let's jump into the unboxing of both of these things, the power adapter and the phone holder, to have you see how we are using these and how they're working for us in this setup. Let's start with the MagSafe phone holder. The unboxing is all of the different pieces, one window holder as well as one vent holder. If you want to fix it to the window or the dash, then you should clean that with some cleaning alcohol. And of course, make sure that there's no dust or fat or anything like that. Then you have the holder, which is really adjustable in all kinds of different ways. And of course has the MagSafe part in front of it, which also adapts as a charger with a USB-C cord. I really wanted something like this because I don't like the clamp ways of holding your phone to the dash or anything like that. So I wanted to have something that is actually based on MagSafe. The magnets are really strong, and as long as you have a MagSafe compatible case, you're also gonna be fine. Now, if you want to fix this to your window, then there's a suction cup that is also very sticky. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate the sticky part because I don't want to fix this to my window, but technically you have all kinds of adjustments and also all kinds of places where you can fix this. On the left, on the middle, or even up at your rear view mirror is an option as well. So wherever you want to have your phone, you can definitely find a way to mount it there. Another way to do this is to actually mount it to the dash. And with the really gluey, sticky suction cup, you could technically also get away with this depending on the surface of your car. But there's actually also an option to have a bit of a base plate that you can screw to the car, and then you have a clear surface where you can suction cup and sticky part this onto. The really cool thing about the adjustments that you can do with this arm is that you can actually also go a little bit lower, as you can see here on this shot, that it is very much adjustable and you can make it however you want. Even pull in and out a little bit to clear a little bit of your dash. But as I've mentioned, we chose the method to actually mount this to the vent. For doing so, we had to take off the MagSafe charging adapter part and then use the vent mounting
clamp to actually fix it there. This actually has a couple of really neat features, one of which being that it has teeth in the back, which means that it actually has a way to clamp around the vent grid, making it so that you can't really pull it out accidentally as you take off your smartphone. Once you have the teeth pushed into the vent, then you can kind of close the screw around so that it actually closes in really nice and tight. And once you're done with that, you can then place back the charging adapter plate with the MagSafe onto the ball, adjusting, and close the screw on that as well, basically making it so that the adjustments are a little bit more stiff so that it doesn't really just fall down or look down all the time, so that you can make sure you can handily and very easily adjust the smartphone to your liking. Once that was all done, I was very happy with this solution to our problem of holding the smartphone in place. It charges the smartphone very nicely. You have a USB-C cord right there, so even if you don't have one of the latest iPhones with USB-C, you can just use a USB-C port already now and just keep on going whenever you need to get out of the car. But of course, all of that doesn't really help much if you don't actually also have a way to distribute power to the smartphone. This right here is a 165 watt power adapter for your cigarette lighter. It has a USB-A port as well as 2 USB-C ports, and one of those obviously is going to be used to connect our basic station for our smartphone charging needs. But the much more interesting part about this is that this power adapter actually has a USB-C port that has 140 watts of power, as well as a second USB-C port with 35 watts and one with 30 watts for the normal USB-A port. Right here you can see I can actually charge my MacBook Pro 16-inch M1 Max at 100 watts. That is completely crazy to think that while you're driving, your MacBook is actually being charged, and at the same time, you might be able to get some work done if you are in the passenger seat. That's just completely mind-boggling to me and changes the game absolutely in terms of power distribution in the car without the need for one of those fancy power adapters that also can transform into a regular household plug. Now, last but not least, I want to also show you that there are smaller power adapters for the cigarette lighter port. This, for example, is a USB-C adapter that has a 60 watt USB-C port. That is completely fine if you don't really need to charge the powerful MacBooks or drone batteries that want to be charged with 100 watts. This right here charges my phone fine. The iPad also is great with it. And if I plug it into my MacBook Pro, you will see that there's actually a 60 watt charge going into that. So there's something for anyone and all of the needs that you might have.
This concludes my upgrade series on what we did for this car to be a little bit more pleasant on the long car rides in terms of technology. Having the ability to charge your iPad, laptop, drone batteries, and the likes all while you're driving, or even get work done while you're in the passenger seat, is an absolute game changer. The ability to have a MagSafe thing that easily holds your phone is also something that I don't want to miss anymore. No weird grabbing things that are always too tight and hard to get your phone into or out of. This just works. And of course, all that combined with the car infotainment system with the Apple CarPlay and dash cams and stuff from Lamoto, that all together kind of bundles it all to be a complete system. We already had great times traveling with this car from the center of Germany all the way through the Alps to Italy, where we are right now, and I can't wait to have a little more road trip-like experiences with this. Now, I hope this was interesting and helpful for you. If you want to check out any of the products, of course, I will link them in the description below. And if you want to check out the Lamoto car display, then of course you will also find a link in the description and here at the end of the video. With all that said, make it your life, continue your journey, and I will see you in another one. Ciao, ciao.